We left off when passengers heard a weird voice calling them out to come to a place. What would you have done in that situation? Welcome back to Movie Recap World, where today we'll be reviewing the second episode of this series. After the heart-stopping events of the first episode, the stakes are higher than ever, as our group of passengers struggle to unravel the mystery surrounding their unexplained time jump. In this episode, we follow the passengers who continue to experience weird situations in their life following the explosion of the plane. They try to balance their life having missed out on the previous 5 years. Following the explosion of the plane, which burns down all the evidence, the police yet again gather the passengers for another round of questioning. They're kept in interrogation for hours, after which they're allowed to go, but not before they're warned not to talk to the media, as it now became a matter of national security. After getting back home, Ben hears strange music, and it seems he's the only one hearing it. Olive confronts her mother and asks her to tell the truth to Ben, as he deserves to know the truth. Elsewhere, Michaela gets back to work, where she sees her best friend Lourdes. Not wanting to talk, Michaela makes an excuse and heads to the captain's office, requesting to be put back on work. Ben, while on a job hunt, hears the same weird melody and asks people around him if they're also hearing the music. But it's only Ben who's hearing the music. Anyway, he follows the music and finds a violinist playing in the street. Ben asks the violinist about the music, and the violinist replies that the music has been stuck in his mind the entire day. The violinist's name is Rad, and he believes the reason behind them both hearing the same melody is so that they can find his son. Rad explains that he too was in Flight 828, and while he was lost for 5 years, his son grew to 18 years old and is now in prison. He further explains that since his visa has expired, no one is willing to help him meet his son. Meanwhile, Michaela is asked to see a therapist to see if she's in the right mental state to return back to work. During the session, it is revealed that she got her friend killed after driving a car while intoxicated. But Michaela still refuses to open up on a lot of other things, and the psychiatrist asks her to visit again. Just after the session, Michaela gets a call from Ben, who asks her a favor. Through Michaela's help, Ben is able to help Rad meet his son Audio in prison. Rad finds his son in a really bad state. Audio also says that he didn't do anything wrong to get in prison. He explains that after Rad went missing, he tries to live a good and honest life. He got himself a job at a jewelry store, but when he got robbed, the police instead caught him for theft. Believing that his son is innocent, Rad vows to fight for him and get him free. Rad and Cal then head to the jewelry store and ask the shop owner about Audio. After finding out that Rad is Audio's father, the shop owner refuses to talk to him, as he strongly believes that Audio really stole from his shop. So, his son Blaze steps into the talk and reveals that the suspicion on Audio rose after they found out that Audio had fake IDs and documents. Moreover, when the robbery occurred, there was no alarm. So, all of this led them to believe that Audio stole from the shop. Meanwhile, when Cal and his mother are out, a strange lady approaches Cal and says he is Ryzen. He is not here. Ever since the plane landed, Cal has been struggling to fit in with the new world. He doesn't like his new clothes, the surroundings, and the fact that his sister barely spends any time with him. Next day, Michaela catches Grace talking to her lover and confronts her to tell the truth to Ben. Much like Olive, Michaela blames Grace for what she's doing and asks her to do the right thing before it escalates anymore. While waiting for his son to get checked, Ben sees that a passenger from his flight is talking to the media. He later asks Sanvi if she had been hearing weird music in her head. Sanvi replies that she hadn't been hearing music, but she has been getting weird feelings. After Sanvi takes Cal for checkups, Ben looks at a family drawing that Cal made and finds a dark figure standing behind his family. Later, Michaela tells Ben that all the evidence regarding the jewelry store then suggests that Audio was the one who robbed the store. However, Ben is still hopeful that might not be the case and he will be able to help Rad. Ben confesses to his sister that despite being back, he feels strange in his own house. Michaela then refrains herself from spilling out the truth about Grace's secret relationship. In the attempt to get the truth, Rad asks Audio to be honest and confess if he did anything wrong. However, Audio aggressively repeats that he did nothing wrong. For his rude behavior, the guard cuts the meeting short and takes away Audio. At home, Michaela sees that Lourdes had made a website dedicated to her following her disappearance, and this makes her emotional. She later talks about this to her therapist and almost breaks down in tears. The therapist then agrees to sign the paper for her reinstatement if Michaela promises to continue her therapy. Following that, Michaela gets back to work where she is also promoted to detective. She comes to terms with Jared and promises not to make things awkward. Meanwhile, Olive takes her dad to a storage room where she kept everything that belonged to Ben and Cal, despite throwing them away. Ben also gets a hint that Grace might have a lover. Just then, he starts to hear the music. He follows the sound in the maze of storage blockers until he finds Blaze with all the stolen jewelry that Audio was accused of stealing. Blaze offers half of the stolen items for keeping shut, but Ben refuses and punches Blaze for ruining Audio's life. Soon after that, Blaze gets arrested and Audio is released from the prison. Michaela talks to Lourdes and clears their misunderstanding, giving their friendship another chance. The lady who gave the interview gets shadowed by a dark figure as she watches her own interview on the television, and within seconds, she gets shot to death. Thanks for tuning in to our recap of the second episode of Manifest. With new mysteries unraveling and questions left unanswered, we can't wait to see what happens next in this thrilling series. Share your thoughts and theories with us in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more recaps. Stay tuned for our next recap here on Movie Recap World.